The Ahsoka show is here. The first 2 episodes of Ahsoka did not let us down. From lightsaber duel to lightsaber duel and all the story told in between, this show is off to an incredible start. With many mysteries about the Night Sisters, the Rakata, and what happened with Ahsoka and Sabine, we got a lot to get into. So spoiler alert for Ahsoka, and let's break this all down. Episode 1 starts with a bang, just like you should bang that like button. Wait, what? No, smash. Smash that like button. And of course, don't forget to give your rating out of 10 in the comment section below for both episode 1 and 2. So episode 1 starts with a crawl. It's the first Disney Plus show to start with a crawl, but it perfectly explains where the galaxy is at right now. The New Republic is in charge, but the remnant of the Empire is trying to build back strength. We then see a New Republic prison transport that is transporting Morgan Elsbeth. We are introduced to Elsbeth back in The Mandalorian Season 2 when Ahsoka Tano captures her. So this scene takes place not that long after The Mandalorian Season 2. A shuttle is coming towards the prison transport and they have to give a clearance code. But the clearance code they give is an old Jedi one. And this is how we are introduced to Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati. Baylan is a Jedi who survived Order 66 and Shin is his apprentice. But right now they are just guns for hire and they are hired by Morgan Elsbeth. They free her from the transport and kill everyone in their way. This is a crazy cool opening to show the strength of Baylan and Shin, 2 brand new characters in the Star Wars universe. Elsbeth then tells Baylan that Ahsoka is also looking for the same map that they are. The map to find Grand Admiral Thrawn. It cuts to the intro scene where we see the name of this first episode is Master and Apprentice, foreshadowing, of course, Sabine and Ahsoka's relationship. We then get to see a very familiar scene from the very first trailer that we got for the Ahsoka show. Ahsoka is walking into what looks to be a Jedi temple. We later find out this is not a Jedi temple, it is a Night Sisters stronghold, which we will get into later on in this video, but that alone is just wild. But Ahsoka throws her lightsabers into the ground, does her little circle spinny thing, and ends up inside of this temple. She looks around and her surroundings look to be very similar to the ones of the World Between Worlds. This could be foreshadowing the possibility of Ahsoka going into the World Between Worlds and going all the way back to Order 66 and fighting Anakin on Mustafar instead of Obi-Wan Kenobi. But for now, we just see Ahsoka find this gold orb. Now, this orb is the map that she and Morgan Elsbeth have been looking for that will bring them right to Thrawn. And for those Rebels fans out there, you know where there's Grand Admiral Thrawn, there's also Ezra Bridger, both of which are believed to have been dead since the battle on Lothal in Star Wars Rebels. On Ahsoka's way out of this Night Sisters stronghold, she gets attacked by 4 droids. She pretty easily handles herself, but these droids realize they've been bested and self-destruct. As Ahsoka escapes the blast, we see Hu Yang for the first time in live action. Hu Yang is the droid that helped younglings create their lightsabers in the Clone Wars. And now, of course, with the Jedi gone, that job is gone too, so he's just hanging out with Ahsoka. This is when Ahsoka gets a call from the New Republic, and they call her Fulcrum, which of course is a callback to when she is referred to as Fulcrum in the early days of the Rebellion. The New Republic is calling Ahsoka in for help because Baylan and Shin just killed many of their officers on a prison transport and stole Morgan Elsbeth back. Ahsoka goes to meet up with the New Republic where we see Hera Syndulla for the first time in live action. And the more and more we see Hera Syndulla in live action, the better and better she looks. Because I know many fans were complaining about her appearance in live action, how different it is from Rebels, but it's nothing like the Grand Inquisitor. Hera shows Ahsoka, Baylan, and Shin, and Ahsoka has no idea who these people are. Ahsoka shows Hera that she found the map, but there's one big problem. They don't know how to open the map.
Who you gonna call?
We then see Lothal for the first time in live action, and as a huge Rebels fan, this was amazing. There is a ceremony going on, and the man with the white beard that is speaking is actually Ryder from Rebels. They are trying to honor Sabine, but she is not there. This is when we first see Sabine in live action, and she is going down one of the infamous runways outside of Lothal's cities, so all the reviews for this show were correct. Natasha Liu Bordizzo, who plays Sabine Wren, knocks it out of the park. And we finally get to see Ezra Bridger's house in live action. Sabine walks in while she's greeted by a Lothcat, which again, if you're a huge Rebels fan, all this is so damn cool. But she goes deep into her belongings and pulls out a hologram. And it's Ezra and his message to Sabine at the end of Rebels. We then go back to the planet where the Night Sister stronghold was just blown up. And we see Shin, Baylan, Morgan, and this Inquisitor. Now this Inquisitor is still a mystery even after these 2 episodes. And it's quite interesting to see the speculation online about who could this person possibly be. So give me your best guess in the comments section below, because I got quite a few people in mind. But this is when Morgan Elsbeth explains what's going on. This was a Night Sister stronghold. It's thousands of years old, and Ahsoka found the map that they've been looking for. And this is when she tells Shin to go to Lothal. Shin asks why, and Baylan tells her that Ahsoka Tano's old apprentice, Sabine Wren, is there. Now this is the start of something crazy. Sabine and Ahsoka trained. We don't know for how long, and we don't know to what extent, but there was some sort of falling out, and the both of them seem to be mad at each other. We then go back to Sabine on Lothal, who is sleeping, who's having a nightmare about what happened at the end of Rebels with Ezra disappearing. Could this possibly be Ezra Bridger calling out to Sabine across the universe? Seems a little bit far-fetched, but later on we see Morgan Elsbeth communicating with the other Night Sisters from across the universe. Sabine wakes up, walks outside, and sees Ahsoka's transport come overhead. So she goes as fast as she can right back into town, where she meets with Ahsoka, and Ahsoka says she knows how to find Ezra. On the ship, Ahsoka tells Sabine what's going on, where she found this map, and why it's so important for her to help her open it. Sabine asks if she can take it off the ship to go clear her mind somewhere else, and Ahsoka of course says no, and Sabine of course steals the map. We then see a scene where Hu Yang explains to Ahsoka that he knows Baylan's skull because he's only seen the lightsaber that Baylan was using once. And this confirms that Baylan is a Jedi who survived Order 66. We then see Sabine figure it out. She figures out how to open the map. And when this map opens up, we see the whole entire Star Wars galaxy.
But wait! There's more!
There's this other galaxy off up and to the left. This is the so-called New Beyond that we've heard so much about. This is where Thrawn and Ezra have been missing this entire time, and clearly it seems very difficult to get to. However, the Night Sisters created this map thousands of years ago. Now, if you're up to date with all the rumors and reports about the Ahsoka show, you know that this New Beyond where Thrawn and Ezra are is supposed to be where the Night Sisters originated from. So it would make sense that they know how to get back home. However, as soon as Sabine figures out what's going on, she gets attacked by droids. They take the map from her and give it to Shin. This leads to an amazing lightsaber duel between Shin and Sabine, which ends with a lightsaber through Sabine's gut. And I can already feel it in the comments section. Oh no, this is Reva all over again. But this is not Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker stabbing Sabine in the stomach twice, once as a youngling. This is Sabine being stabbed in the stomach with Ahsoka right there to come and help her so that she doesn't die. And I'm sure many of you are going to be extremely mad because, of course, Qui-Gon Jinn could not have survived this either, but there was also no medical attention right there next to him. Regardless, this ends episode 1. I mean, talk about an amazing opening to this season. Introducing Baylan and Shin by having them take out an entire New Republic transport is insanity. Also revealing that Morgan Elsbeth is actually a Night Sister, and that there's a Night Sister stronghold that was built thousands of years ago that houses a map to the New Beyond. And not to mention all the lightsaber combat. This episode was so damn good. And in my personal opinion, I give it a 10 out of 10. And that is extremely rare. Only 3 other episodes of Star Wars Disney Plus television has ever received the 10 out of 10. And that is episode 5, The Jedi in Mando Season 2, also the finale of Mando Season 2, and episode 6 in the Book of Boba Fett. Now, episode 2, although not a 10 out of 10, is still extremely good. So episode 2 opens up with Ahsoka tapping into the Force. She is listening to Sabine, and she's hearing Ezra Bridger. Sabine is in a medical bay where she's healing. Sabine tells Ahsoka that she was attacked by 2 droids, and one should still be at her house. We then see Balin and Shin landing their ship on Cetos. This is a new planet that we have never seen in Star Wars before, but it is extremely important. Balin tells Shin to go tell Morgan Elsbeth to come here immediately, and when Shin walks away, Balin looks up into the sky and sees a Purrgil. These are the space whales that have tentacles that travel through hyperspace that took Ezra and Thrawn into the New Beyond in the first place. Yeah, those guys. We then see Ahsoka go back to Sabine's house where she gets attacked by the droid but eventually chops off its head. And Sabine is able to tap into the droid's memory bank. Sabine finds out that this droid came from Corellia. Now, Corellia was where Han Solo was from in the Solo movie. It's a shipyard where the Empire made ships. And Morgan Elsbeth did have factories on Corellia, but supposedly when the New Republic took over, she lost those factories. Ahsoka and Hera plan to go meet on Corellia, but Sabine has to stay there and heal. We then cut to Morgan Elsbeth arriving on Cetos. She comes upon the ruin, takes the map, and opens it using Night Sister magic. Morgan Elsbeth actually says that this place, this ruin, was created by an ancient people from a distant galaxy. Now, she's not referring to the Night Sisters here, no, because she's already referred to the Night Sisters, and she referred to them by name when talking about the Night Sisters' stronghold on the previous planet. I believe she's talking about the Rakata. Now, the Rakata are an ancient people, and they are from a distant galaxy. Also, they had star maps very similar to this one that gets opened up. This is not even the first time we've heard of the Rakata in the last year. In the Andor show, when Luthen gives Cassian Andor this Kyber crystal, he says that it is from the ancient Rakatan Empire. Tying the Night Sisters and the Rakata to the same new place called the New Beyond is wild and changes a ton of stuff for the future of Star Wars. And just this one little line of Morgan Elsbeth saying that this ruin was created by an ancient people from a distant galaxy changes so much. We then go to Corellia, where Ahsoka is meeting Hera, and they meet with this guy who runs the place. Now, we quickly find out that the people working there don't care who's in charge. The Empire, the Republic, the New Republic, it doesn't matter to them, as long as they're getting paid. And getting paid they are, but by Morgan Elsbeth, as they find out that a hyperdrive is being taken away to go help Morgan Elsbeth build this gigantic ship that will transport them from the galaxy we know to this New Beyond. This leads to a cool fight in the sky with Chopper and Hera riding in the Phantom chasing down this hyperdrive. While on the ground, Ahsoka is fighting against the Inquisitor. Now, we know almost nothing about this Inquisitor except for the fact that his name is Marok. We don't know if he's a guy, we don't know if she's a girl, and we don't know who it is. And your guess right now is as good as mine at this point. I don't know what's going on with this character. He is very strange, and I think something is up. But tell me in the comments who you think this Inquisitor is. We see live-action Chopper, who is still as sassy as ever, and he puts a tracking beacon on the hyperdrive. We go back to Sabine on Lothal, who talks to Hu Yang, who convinces her to begin her training again. She goes back to her house, gets all her Mandalorian armor out, and cuts her hair. We then see her contact Ahsoka and say that she wants to come back. And Ahsoka goes back to Lothal and picks her up. Now, this is where many fans are speculating online. Is this the epilogue to Rebels? Now, I don't think it is. Dave Filoni would not retcon his own stuff, and Ahsoka is not wearing the white robes and holding the staff that she is at the end of Rebels. However, many of the shots of Sabine are the same. Tell me in the comments, do you think this is the epilogue from Rebels and Dave Filoni just retconned his own stuff? Or do you think we will see almost the exact same scene with Ahsoka in white robes and a staff later on in the season? Regardless, we see the hyperdrive be placed into this massive ship that is under construction that will eventually bring them from the known galaxy to the New Beyond. We then see Morgan Elsbeth talking to Balin, Shin, and the Inquisitor, but Balin is the only one talking. He says that Ahsoka's presence in the Force is elusive, yet her determination is vivid, meaning she's very determined to stop Grand Admiral Thrawn and to go save Ezra. Morgan Elsbeth says nothing will prevent this journey to go save Grand Admiral Thrawn, and Balin replies with killing Ahsoka would be a shame, because there's not many Force users left left in the galaxy. Now that brings us to the credits. Now this episode was insanely good as well. I think the first episode was a little bit better. It was a little bit longer, but this episode was more leading us into the story itself, giving us more information about Morgan Elsbeth, about the Night Sisters, about the possibility of ancient people from a faraway land, possibly the Rakata. Like, this episode had so much interesting stuff in it, and with that being said, I give it a 9 out of 10. So total, averaged out, I give these 2 episodes a 9.5 out of 10, but if you haven't yet, of course, rank these 2 episodes in the comments section below. And just tell me what you think about the Ahsoka show so far. Are you excited to see where it goes from here? And what did you think of those first 2 episodes? Tell me in the comment section below. Smash a like on this video if you liked it. Hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And if you want to support the channel, become a member. Join the people who love Star Wars by hitting that join button next to the subscribe or the link in the description below. We go live on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so don't miss out on any of that by hitting that subscribe. And if you want more, go check out this video I just did about Anakin Skywalker and whether or not he is still the chosen one.